Over at Marvel Comics, it's been absolutely enthralling to watch some of the ongoing adventures of Wanda Maximoff in her Scarlet Witch ongoing series, where we've gotten the opportunity to watch her operate the Emporium, a magic shop home to the Last Door, which is a portal that only shows up for people who are in need. In addition to all of these aspects, Wanda is also still dealing with the fact that she absorbed the Darkhold and sealed the demon Chthon inside her soul. My name is Ariko Braddock, and today it's time to check in over on the Scarlet Witch to see if she can handle all of the recent aspects of continuity that have been testing her and to catch up with one of her mentors, Agatha Harkness. But before we get deeper into the Scarlet Witch Annual 1, want to go ahead and encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button if you enjoy our content. And I want to go ahead and introduce Marvel Comics Scarlet Witch Annual with their solicitation text for the issue. Contest of Chaos Prelude. When a newly rejuvenated Agatha Harkness learns of the Scarlet Witch's recent absorption of Chthon, she decides to educate her former student on the dangers of such an endeavor. But Wanda is not the meek pupil she once was, and Agatha's intentions are not so straightforward. This epic clash between Marvel's most powerful witches sets off a chain reaction that will affect the course of Marvel's summer. And I want to go ahead and introduce our creative team over on the Scarlet Witch Annual number 1. This one is written over by Steve Orlando, featuring artwork from Carlos Nieto, colors from Triona Farrell, and letters from VC's Cory Petit. The cover for the issue is coming in directly from artist Russell Dauterman. There's a look at Russell Dauterman's cover for the issue, showing off Scarlet Witch and Agatha Harkness looking sinister behind her as well. And also teasing the fact that this issue is kind of kicking off that Contest of Chaos crossover as well. Of course, I want to extend a big thank you to Adventures in Poor Taste and start off a little bit here by focusing in on some of the wonderful artwork coming in for Carlos Nieto over in the issue. So really appreciated that kind of a bold aesthetic that Nieto led over to the book, and think it really matched up with some of the previous artists on this series with creators like Russell Dauterman as well. I think some of the attention to detail that Nieto lends towards the faces really helps this book kind of fall in line with some of the previous installments here. It was really enjoyable kind of watching Scarlet Witch catch up with her mentor, Agatha. And I also thought that the way that both author Steve Orlando and artist Carlos Nieto introduced Agatha and some of the opening pages here were absolutely enthralling. I love the fact that this series has kind of operated out of a humor context in some instances, but a more dramatic context in others here. Also, I really appreciate the fact that author kind of Steve Orlando breaks up the formula that he's had for previous Scarlet Witch stories in this tale. At first glance here, when you're kind of closing out the issue, it almost feels like this is going to be your average issue of Scarlet Witch, where Wanda is kind of checking in with somebody from her past. But towards the very end of the issue, we get to know some of the kind of true intentions of some of these characters, and I think it really gives this book that kind of left turn it needs to stay interesting here. Elsewhere in the battle, we also got the opportunity to watch Agatha and Wanda duke it out in a kind of cross-dimensional battle here. I love all the kind of subtle ways that Steve Orlando and artist Carlos Nieto kind of change up the setting and location for Wanda to go ahead and keep things interesting. Another aspect about this book that I always really appreciate is the fact that we get to see characters in kind of plain clothes as well. I know this is kind of a minor aspect to the issue, but it really does help make these characters feel real, and is something I would like to see explored in even more comics over across the Marvel Universe. And again here, I thought it was really intriguing with how this story kind of set up the Contest of Chaos. I didn't necessarily see kind of where that twist towards the end of the issue was coming, especially due to the fact that so many issues of Scarlet Witch have really followed this kind of same structure and setting. I would love to see kind of future issues of this story really follow up on on some previous cliffhangers for kind of recent Scarlet Witch issues and really break free of the formatting to tell some more dramatic stories. But I feel like Steve Orlando's pacing on this series has been spot on, up to date, and he seems to be sort of breaking the status quo just inch by inch by inch over in this comic book that I'm really excited to go ahead and check out. I think Carlos Nieto is also able to capture so much detail in the background of the Emporium and several of the locations over across this series. There's a great focus on aspects like architecture over across the issue. Also, I think Steve Orlando's characterization for Darcy Lewis really feels kind of honest and true to me. So at the end of the day, I am very happy with the Scarlet Witch annual #1 coming in from Marvel Comics. Really happy that Steve Orlando is finally kind of breaking some of the structure of these Scarlet Witch issues. As in a lot of these titles, we've just seen characters kind of pop through the last door and have sort of lingering conversations with Wanda. But I think one of the aspects that really set this issue apart was the fact that it's dealing with some of the continuity from Wanda, lingering even before some of the events of this series, and really focusing in on her relationship with Agatha. Very excited to see how the Contest of Chaos officially begins here and to check in with where this book is headed in the near future. Thank you so much for coming to check out our review over for the Scarlet Witch annual #1, and we'll be back to cover everything X-Men, Scarlet Witch, and Marvel Comics related in the near future. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.